Billiard Network and Langoni Cues bring you another cracking match. I'm Niels Feijen, the Terminator. Let's see who we have here today. David Alcaide against Wojtek Szewczyk, the fresh world 10-ball champion, one of the most solid players on the tour, versus a powerhouse rhythmic player with a lot of knowledge, David Alcaide. Both players great tactical players. David is from Spain. He's been playing a lot of three cushion over the years with Danny Sanchez, one of the best three cushion players on the tour there. And Szewczyk is really also a great student of the game, has a super nice tactical game, so hopefully we get to see some nip and tuck safeties here where these players can show their full potential and not just running out easy racks. Tricky shot here after the break for David. I think he just cannot get past the 3 to hit the 2 on the side that he wants to hit to make it. David, not being the tallest player on the tour, might have some problems reaching this for a jump shot. I'm thinking if it's that close to making it, the jump would be really accessible, because the cue ball is not going to have a whole lot of speed on it where it's going to get away from the 3. But like I said, hard to reach. He's opting for a small swerve, trying to make the ball. Very close. Tricky shot. I think still the jump there would have been a bit easier to control. Nice open table for Szewczyk to start his match off. Good speed control there. That takes care of all the problems in this rack. Can just stop this ball here for the 4 in the corner. Buddy Hall, Hall of Famer, has a great saying: if you have position, don't play position. And that is something that we all can just engrave into our minds. That's very handy. Like here, he just played a stop shot instead of rolling forward for the side pocket. Totally unnecessary. The position was already there. Key shot coming up. Needs an angle on the 6. Electing to play to the inside of the 6 and draw back instead of going off the rail more towards the middle of the table. Bit further than center table would do fine here. Oh, surprised me there. Again went for the inside angle on the 7. Taking a bit more risk. If he freezes himself on the rail there, tough shot. And if he gets straight in, also tricky. Under hit that one slightly. Think he wanted to bump the rail and come out. Took some risk with the side pocket. So just an early sign of some match jitters again. Bit too close to that rail, but has a nice shot on the 9 to get on the board and settle down. Lovely shot. Good technical execution. Sometimes in these matches, we've all find that one day you're a little more nervous than the other day, and it's just wise to take just a bit more time earlier on. The emotions that you're feeling, they never stay the same. That also counts for the bad emotions that you could be encountering very early on some match nerves, perhaps a bit of shakiness, some insecurity. Just take a hair more time, you know, to be slow. Take care of your breathing, and then before you know it, those emotions are getting transferred with other emotions, and you're getting more into the match. Nice break by Szewczyk, but like David, not a really good offensive shot. I think he has to try to play the cue ball behind the 7 and bank the 3 into the kitchen as close to the rails he can. Like that, playing all out for the 7. Didn't quite get there. Interesting to see now if David's going to have a go with this cut shot, or if he doesn't fancy it too much, and that he will play the safe to bank the 3 towards the 9 and the cue ball 2 rails to the 4. Tricky shot to make it, because in your mind the 7's there. Gonna go towards the chalk on the right side, and then the 7's gonna get into play, whether you like it or not. It's just laying right there in that route to the 4. Tough opening shot for David, hasn't made a ball yet. Electing to play up and down, a lot of body movement there. Kind of got away with it. Speed and direction wasn't quite there, but he left Wojtek very tricky. I think he will use the 6-9 as blocker, sending both balls now to the opposite side rails, unless he's having a cut at it, which he did. Overcut the ball, that we call that missing it on the pro side. If the cue ball would have been in the kitchen, he would have had a safety. If you hit it on the thick side, you're sending the 3 ball into play, but was a bit unfortunate with the cue ball that bumped the point and gave David an opportunity. 100% sure he's got to have a go at this. I think even bumping the 7 here now will bring him into play. This is a good chance to get going. Electing to go 2 rails. 3 rails, I should say. Short, long, short, and then back out. It was a tight angle. Got totally froze on the 4. I think maybe bumping the 7 there wouldn't have been a bad shot, but I think just getting 1 or 2 more balls out into the open with his shot selection, of course, would have been also great. Very tricky situation here. Normally you would hit the right side of the 4 and send the cue ball down table a couple of rails, but the 5 and 8 are there. Hitting the left side of the 4 is just gonna send the 4 towards the corner. They're going in between the 5-8. Beautiful shot there. Using the 6 as a blocker. Great direction. I think Wojtek still has a look at this. And all he can do really is hit the left side of the 4 and try to bank it towards the right long rail and creating distance with the cue ball. The 5 and 8 are covering that pocket, so that's a good safe zone for him. Just get out of this trap. Taking a long aim, Oh, hit it too thin. Giving ball in hand away. Didn't need to hit it that thin, because even if he puts it in front of the 5-8, he's going to leave a tough combination for David. He went all out to bring the cue ball perhaps back behind the 6-9. Very tough to do. And now a nice ball in hand. Thinking cue ball to the middle of the table from the 5 is the key. Straight in on the 6 would be lovely. Opting to go all the way to the side rail and then coming off the short rail. Interesting position play. I thought just staying down there and with some right spin coming off the side rail towards the 6. Nothing wrong with this. Just another direction coming into the position of the 6. Kind of a funny angle. Put some inside spin on the 5 ball, which brought him more away from the middle of the table. Now he has to hit this rather hard, I think, to bring himself out into open play. Unless he's just going to roll it in. No, opting to play the harder hit. Did he get there? Ooh, didn't get there. That was poor position play. That was actually the 5 ball that got him. Not so much the 6. The damage was already done there. That's gotta hurt early on. Getting ball in hand with 6 open balls and hooking yourself on the 4th one never feels good to these players, of course. But that's the game. Try to recover. Beautiful jump. He's got to come with one nice shot. He's got a funky angle. He can't just draw it straight back, I believe. I think he has to cross over for the 9 in the other corner where he just made the 7. So still has to put in a good stroke. Get some speed into this cue ball. Ooh, elected to cheat the pocket and stay on the right side. Nicely done. Something distracting him. Maybe somebody walking by, getting up from the shot. Again. Something's bothering him. Gotta compose himself, make this 9 for 1-1. Blue diamond chalk. My personal chalk. I think he's one of the best chalks out there. Great grab. Nice break, a lot of action there for David. Wears his heart on his sleeve. If something's not to his liking, he will show it right away. Very animated player. Has to jump again. Just made a jump like this. That could help. Keep you kind of in the same stroke. And if you just made that previous one, this could really give a good feel. No. Didn't get that one quite there. That 3 is going to move. Watch the cue ball. It's going to leave a shot. But close to the cushion. For your inspired players, if you just make this ball, you're going to have trouble getting away from that 5. So Wojtek has to do something with a lot of right spin to bring him up and away from that 5. Has to cue over the 8. That could bring that shot into trouble. What kind of spin is he putting on this? Put left spin on it, going under the 6 and back out. Nicely done. With that elevated cue there, that is a tough shot to execute. He's back in business, going to the bottom rail. Back out, maybe with a tip of inside, no. I think just a tip of left there could have helped him to get even straighter on the 5. Nothing wrong with this. Nice shot. Opens up a 2-rail angle to get into the line of position for the 7. This is a big shot for amateur players. A lot of players would go 1 rail, bottom rail, and then play towards the 7, but that could give you the wrong angle on the 7. In my humble opinion, the correct shot here is go bottom rail, side rail, and then out towards the 7. There, see, you have so much room for error there. You could hit it even 50 centimeters harder, shorter, it's the same angle, and that's good, solid position play, coming into your angles. Interesting, he didn't get up from that shot. That player on the right almost distracted me watching it, and he's right in the line of vision for Wojtek, so that was some players really close by to him. Gotta be aware of that sometimes when you're playing in rooms where the tables are really close to you and players walking by. Handled it well, 2-1. Big break here, if you can run this rack, taking an early lead. 3-1 is always a nice start. Oh, that's gonna be legal. Thought with that 1 on the point, slow movement on the balls, that 3 wasn't gonna get there, but he made another ball in the low right corner. Having a small discussion about that. 3's in the kitchen, so a legal break. In Europe we play with the 3-point rule. That means you either pocket, for example, 3 balls, then no balls have to go into the kitchen or touch the line, the kitchen line. If you make 1 ball, then 2 balls have to go into the kitchen. It's the 3-point rule. We've been playing with that for, I think, over a decade now. It works really good, and it certainly has eliminated the soft break. Players have to hit the balls, create some action, or they're taking a big risk to giving the table away to their opponent. Nice shot there, going 3 rails to the middle of the table. Good speed and direction, and once again here you can go 2 rails towards the middle of the table. Touch of high right. Getting straight in on the 4 here would be ideal for him. Here it comes. Good solid position play on that first 1 ball. Recognize that you had to spin it a lot to make it, and use that spin to go 2 rails to the 2 on the side. It's got a very loose wrist grip, Wojtek does. Been playing like that for years. It works really good for him. And he's taking a 3-1 lead. I've mentioned this in other videos. There's a lot of good breakers now on the Euro Tour. It's It's very common that players run at least 3 to 5, sometimes even 6 racks in a set. If you want to be competitive on the tour, you must have a good break. I think at this level it's at least 50% of the game. Because the tables are always playing fairly forgiving. So it's high offensive pool most of the time with a lot of break and runs. Let's see David's break. Break from the same side. Corner ball didn't even come close there. Very interesting. And we see a dry break. Don't see that a lot. This is kind of a weird action on the corner ball. It came super high. And this could really give Wojtek a big boost. He just broke a random rack, and if your opponent breaks dry and gives you a straight in shot on the 1, that could give you some wings. Here you see the pocket size, fairly forgiving. Wouldn't be bad if they made them a hair tighter, in my humble opinion, at this level, and make it a bit tougher for all these great champions. Interesting shot coming up. Is he going to stay under the 4 to shoot it in the top corner, or is he going with a bit of inside spin in between the 4 and 9? Yes, use that left spin to open up the angle. Now it's decision time. He's gotta get on the 5, but if he just rolls it in, he's gonna be frozen on the rail. If he goes down table, the 9 might get in the way. He needs an angle to get into the kitchen. Going 2 rails there. Good speed. Didn't want to be straight in there. He has a nice angle. Yeah, playing in front of the 8. Not taking a chance to get too close. Keep your cue ball into the open. Bit of right spin again here. Probably for the 7 in the side, where the cue ball is now, would be nice. Just good enough. Checking his angle. Deliberate player. Very experienced. Very solid. Bit too straight on that one. Shaking his head. He has to draw this back now. And you see the angle. If he hits it a bit too hard, he's going to be frozen on that side rail. That makes this shot trickier than you think. Hit it beautiful. And a stop shot to go 4-1. Early big lead. Pro Star tables. I have one in my house. Lovely equipment. Also by Longoni Cues, in cooperation with Leo. Back to the match, 4-1. Let's see how this break is going to go down. David in his chair is just hoping for a shot. Corner ball straight in, 1 in the side. Where's the 2 and the 8 doing? I think he's hooked. Now, I believe Wojtek might have to pull out his jump cue. If he's hooked, it's just very, very minimal. I think if it's that small of a snooker, you can play this with a full cue, I believe. If it's just a bit more, you gotta pull out the jump stick. See, he wants to play this with his full cue. Great execution there. He even put some draw on it. Hit it with his break cue. Probably has a phenolic tip on it, which makes that jump slightly easier, because his jump stick also has a phenolic tip. So great offensive shots here after the break, also from David. He had to play that 2. You might go back to earlier in the match after the break. He had kind of the same situation. If the snooker is so minimal, you might as well have a go for that light jump. Because if you're pushing out, your opponent's always in the initiative. Because he can choose to shoot it, he can choose to give it back. So he has more options than you. So if the jump is light and fairly doable, that is a good solution. Making short work of this. Got across the table here for the 9 in the low right. Just a touch of low right spin. 5 o'clock on the cue ball if it were a clock. It was a clock. And here this is totally personal preference. Some players like to roll this in. I like to draw this in with a touch of low right, some helping English. He's going to roll it in. Personal preference. 5-1. Very quick, early big score. And now it's time for David desperately to hit this break good. Otherwise, you're in a lot of trouble. He's already in big trouble. Hasn't made that many mistakes actually. Wojtek's played good. He had that one very important dry break. There you see how quick it can go. Wojtek broke and ran. David broke dry and he made another break and run. So that's 3 games where you're just sitting in a chair and you can't do anything. There again, corner ball not even coming close. Made the one in the side, but it's an illegal break. 3, 7 balls. You see, no balls in the kitchen. David's got to be sick about that one. Didn't hit him bad at all, just not getting any good action towards that low left corner on our screen. And that's the only downside to his break, David. He only has 1 break in 9 on the spot. He never breaks from the other side of the table, and this would really be a big moment to change that perhaps in the match. He's had 3 breaks, 1 successful, but not making the corner ball. Might have to make a shift. With 1 on the spot, he does break from the left player's point of view, but not with 9 on the spot. Wojtek going for a small bend. There was a good reward in that shot, but just hit it a tad too soft. Now we get to see David's tactical game. Getting down very quick on this one. Just thinning it. Oh, did he hook him? I don't think he did. Cue ball might have rolled down table slightly in the end there. Could be some frustration going on, because he hit that awfully fast. Same shot here for Szewczyk. Oh! I think that table might have a slight roll towards the bottom part of the table. So if you're shooting to that side, it's going to go to the left. Because I think watching David's shot, that ball was ending up closer to the 5, and last minute it kind of rolled down table. And there on Szewczyk's shot, that might have gotten him. Where he aimed it well, but that's a rare miss to not even hit that ball from that distance. Giving David now ball in hand and a 3-9 combo to pull one back. Oh, 5 ball. That was pretty careless. With ball in hand, not feeling very well at this moment. Has to compose himself and definitely, in my opinion, after this game, take a timeout. Talk to your mates, get this out of your system. Sometimes just complain a little bit for just 2 minutes. Blow off some steam and then walk back into the arena fresh. Because he's having a lot of frustration now, especially after 2 dry breaks, or an illegal break, a dry break. Now missing that combo. Beautiful shot there. Watch the cue ball. Ooh. Still, I mean, that was a great shot to bring himself back into it, but he's feeling awfully frustrated. And he's looking to play the 8 in the side here. I think it's laying pretty good for the corner. Yep. So this is a great example of a player and a moment in a match where a timeout could be super beneficial. Even if you run this rack, just refresh yourself. Give yourself that opportunity to collect your thoughts, get some negative feelings out, and then come back. I'm not doing that. Of course, he's playing the match and I'm sitting here commentating it. Corner ball not going there. Make the 1 in the side. Made another ball, but 2, 4, 6, 7. That's an illegal break. The reason why David's not coming into the picture is because he says, you go ahead and shoot it, buddy. You're totally snookered on the 2 anyway, so I don't want to get to the table. You go and push out. What do you do here with the push out? If you push towards the 5, 9, 7 anywhere, that 3 ball is pretty big to hide him behind. Tricky situation. Maybe the top right corner. If a player makes the 2 from there, he's not gonna have a good shot on the 3. And possibly you could play a safety, hitting the side of the 2 and sending the cue ball in between the 7, 9. Kind of a sneaky tactical challenge. Disguising your shot selection, where a player thinks you're going to go for the 2, but you're actually playing a safety. Where he's standing now, in that top right corner somewhere. I think that would be a good spot. Might have been a bit too far from the side rail to play that safe now. 2 balls closer to that rail and the safety would be more accessible. Now the 2 might get more speed. But like we spoke about early on, David, a good tactician. Weighing off his options, looking to see if the 4 passes the 8. That way now he's thinking if he jacks up and makes this ball, he might have a bank on the 3 and an offensive opportunity to run out. Wow. Played that one with high right and trying to send the cue ball around all those balls from an almost straight in shot. That was really a lot to ask for. Bit surprised because he normally makes those tactical decisions better. Great speed control there by Wojtek. Using the 4 and 8 in the middle of the table as blockers. Very interesting to see. And a learning moment for a lot of players. They usually think you have to snooker your opponent behind balls maybe that are on the rails, around the pocket, or just a small stun shot where a ball's in the middle of the table. But here he's using 2 balls that are wide open to get behind. Tricky kick. I think if he hits the left side rail and then gets under it from there, if he hits it full, he can use the 4-8. If he hits it a hair thin, he's on either side, still good things can happen. I think that's the correct path. This is all about speed. Look, see, he hit it thin on the way in, and now he himself used the 4-8. So the speed was good there. If he hits it harder, he's selling out. And also if he hits it softer. So nice tactical shot from David. Once again on this one, this is all about speed. I might think kicking from the other side rail is even better, because the cue ball can go behind the 3-7. And if he hits it on the opposite side, the 2 can go in between the 3-7. This way, you must hit his left side of the 2 to get the cue ball 1 rail behind the 4-8. I think there's only one good outcome here, and that you must hit the left side of the 2. Didn't do that. No, nice shot still. Good speed. I like it. Hit it harder so that the 2 can cross back over to the other side. Intelligent shot. David coming close to the jump. Where's the 2 going? Was hoping for a bit of luck. Leaves the 2 on, but it's all about position here. Often to go for the low left and cue ball in between the 3-7. The position. Oh, very fortunate there. Didn't want to hit that 3 at all and played in the low right. Bumped it and did so right in front of the side pocket. And that has 6-2 in the making. Of course, played that nice kick shot before to give himself that opportunity. David had to play the jump. There was a nice exchange in the tactical department from both players. 2 nice kick safeties, one of the most beautiful aspects of the running games. 9 ball, 10 ball. And the Grandmaster himself, Efren Reyes, brought that to our attention. He started doing that already in the late 70s when he came over to the United States. Before that, everybody was just hitting their kick shots hard, so I've heard. And he brought the kick save into play, sending balls or the cue ball into certain areas of the table and just creating a whole new dimension in rotation pool. Ooh, under hit that one by a lot. That could be a big moment in this match. This shot is massive. 6-2 or 5-3 in case you miss it. Really has to bear down on making this ball. No spin. Makes it 6-2. Ooh, the lovely Giotto cases by Langoni. This one's the Florencia. I have the Giotto myself, the 2x4 with the pockets on the inside. There's a nice break from David. A lot of action. Makes the corner ball, but look at the 2 ball. Doesn't cross the line and the 1 hit the point. That means illegal break. That is really a body blow. Got a lot of action on that one, but for some reason for David, this table is not breaking good for him. 2 shots here. One's offensive, a triple combo, 1-4-8. The other one is trickling on behind the 8 like this. Ooh, needed, I think, just a tad of right spin to crawl in that little hole there. In between the side rail and the 8 ball. Does David have a view at it? No, he's looking to kick at the bottom rail. Very frustrated, of course, here. 4 breaks. Already his last 3 breaks. 1 was dry and 2 illegal. Kicking at the 1, nice hit, but sending it into the wide open area. Giving Wojtek another offensive opportunity. And he, of course, is loving this. He's sitting in the chair, perhaps getting ready for a break and run. And 1 inning later, after a safety, he has the chance. Again playing that crossover shot too soft. Has to come with a nice draw stroke here. I think the cue ball approximately to the spot would give him a good angle on the 3. Yeah, that line from the spot to the 3, there it is. Here, interesting, because he does have to cut the 8 a little bit, and the 4 then will go towards the lower right. So landing here on the opposite side rail would be ideal for him. Then he can keep both balls into position. Wants to go further, further, further. See, now the tricky part about this one, the cue ball's going away from where he wants it to stay. Ideally, if the cue ball would have traveled 2-3 more rotations, he could have played a stop shot. Now he has to cut this 4 and the cue ball is going to get movement, so he has to correct the position again. Nothing easy about this to keep the position for the next shot accessible. And look, he's got to do all kinds of spin and compensating. That's where this game, it just keeps surprising you, even if you've played 20, 30, 40 years. 2 more rotations there and he would have already been shooting at the 9, and now he's on a tricky combination. Wow, not even going for it. I'm shocked about that one. Huh. I thought he could still make it, giving away a shot in the side pocket. That was interesting. I thought the shot was still available to him. And that is a big relief for David. (7-2) is almost game over. 6-3, and no, he's not breaking in the next. So he still has to wait it out, but it's much better than a 7-2. At least you're breathing a little bit again. You're pocketing some balls. And now Wojtek's going to be kicking himself. So this could potentially mean a bit of swing in momentum. Let's see this break. This is really interesting. Made the 1, corner ball collided. Oh, totally straight in on the 2. Came with a good hit. Got a reward. Can strike again, shake it off, put himself on the board with 7-3. So forget about that last error you've made. The mistake is not shaking it off, dwelling on that and making another mistake. That's the mental challenge for inspired players who want to improve. Don't let one mistake turn into another right away by being frustrated, angry. Because you see Wojtek had the break, and which means he can strike again, so you got to be ready for that opportunity. Is he going to play the 5 in the top corner, or bumping the rail and playing to the middle of the table here? Playing for the 5 in the top corner. Great direction. Has a slight angle to move the cue ball now to the left of the table for an easier shot on the 6. If he would have been straight in there on the 5, would have been trouble. This is really ideal. This is the key shot coming up. He has to go 2 rails. Play the cue ball above the 9, not scratching in the side, and then crossing over to where the cue ball is now. And just with a bit more angle, so he can play another zigzag for a position on the 8. Here it comes. There's 1 rail, 2 rails, needs to go, needs to go. That's not going to cut it. This is tough. Now he has to draw towards the low right corner, flirting with the scratch to play the 8 in the low left corner. You have to tell your brain, I'm going towards that corner, but we're not going to scratch. We're going to hit it nice and sweet. Very nicely done. Good recovery shot. And he's back in optimal position. Again, personal preference here. You can roll it forward off the rail to the 9 in the side. You can draw it slightly back. Biggest thing here is commit. See, the angle's not quite there to shoot the 9 in one of these lower corners, so it's gonna be a side pocket. You have to just commit and play good position. There, bump the rail. Nothing wrong with this. You don't have to make the 9 in these lower pockets. This for 7-3. The Luna Nera shaft from Langoni. The pure graphite shaft. I play with it myself. Great feel. Plays almost similar to the S2. Ooh, a lot of action. Once again, the one hitting the point. No shot. See, that break is just not working for him this match. That is one of the most frustrating things with this break, is the one on the point. I've had that myself many times and it will really, whoo, that hurts. Because even if you get a legal break like here, you have just zero idea where that one's going to end up. Looking at a push out. Wants to play the cue ball next to the 8. Challenge Wojtek for a cut shot safety. Interesting. Or can he make it? Can he make this ball where you have to roll it in and play next to the 3? To the 2 in the top right? Or is this all out for a safe? I think I would give it back then, yeah, because this is just really tough to play a safety. 3 and 9 are blocking him. I don't think he can get a snooker out of it. Unless he's got us fooled. Oh, lot of spin. Tried to do something there, which wasn't really available. Tough shot. And I think still the biggest thing for David in this match is a timeout. Where he can talk with somebody or even to himself. Collect his thoughts and emotions. Because that shot also, even the push out was very fast, and the shot he left himself was super tough. Slightly on the wrong side of this 2 by Szewczyk. Has to make a correction here. Bump the side rail and then coming towards the 3 again. Bit of a blind pocket when you get down on the shot. Stay down on it. Blast this one in with stun. Tip of right towards the middle of the table. Ooh. Yeah, good direction. Nice speed control there. Staying on the correct side of the 5, so you can go towards the 7 and not away from the 7. And this is like picking or choosing your candy in a candy shop. Everything wide open. Already on 7 in this set, so he's warmed up. Feels the table well. You can see that now on the positional side of things. As we see Ralph Souquet on the right side. Ooh, look at this shot. That was very surprising. Just after I said he's got the table down, he comes with a 3-foot overhit 8-ball to the 9. 3 feet. Too hard. Still cut it in nicely. I think no spin needed. Tricky shot. Nicely done. 8-3. There's one of the nice cues by Langoni. Since 1945, when they were all still handmade. Very little machinery. The Italian pride of cue making. Oh, cue ball. Is it illegal? 3, 6, 7, yes. Illegal break. The final little chance for David to put a stamp on this match. With alternate break. This is really mentally tough. You already feel like you're out of it. But you have to start somewhere. It starts with one game. Nice executed shot. Nicely executed shot there. Come off the rail here. Looking at a 6-7 combo, I think. Yeah, he was always going to have a fairly straight angle. Combo's fine. The 6 will go towards the top right corner on our screen. So good selection. Yes, here it comes. I think with a really nice soft draw stroke, you can stop the cue ball and the 6 will just bump towards that rail. There it comes. I think draw towards the 8 now. To keep himself safe from the 9, I think he has to draw to where the cue ball is now and then just a bit further with low right. Went for the harder shot off the side rail to guarantee better position. Nicely done. And this to put himself again on the board, trailing 4-8, but he can break. Oh, that's my personal cue line, the flames, the sparkle. Go check him out at the Terminator shop if you're interested. I think the boys are back from a timeout now. So Wojtek sitting in his chair, not coming back from the rack, so could have been a timeout moment. Let's see. 2 ball down. 1 ball on the point again. That has really been the backbreaker for David. His break in this set. Once again, illegal. If the 1 drops there, he's straight in on the 3. But you must make some kind of adaptation, change the position of the cue ball relative to the long rail. Change that somewhat closer, a bit further, a bit more down. You gotta try and change that angle of the one. Try to either make it go in the side or past the side. The point, if it keeps going on the point, and you keep doing the same thing, then it's not bad luck anymore. Wow, Szewczyk going for an aggressive shot here. After the break. Wow, nice shot. Taking a lot of risk jumping that in. I think he might have even tried to play it into the 4-9. Very nice cut. Does the 4 pass the 9? I believe it does. But not an easy position shot. It has to go 2 rails. Side rail, side rail. Just the tip of the outside left spin. Nicely struck. Now here he's got fairly big angle, so he can't draw away from the 5 anymore. He has to bump it. You got to check out where you're going to hit the 5. This is for him like making the 9. If he makes a good collision with the 5, everything's wide open. Yeah. Lovely. You choose to draw all the way back for the 6 in the side, or a bit shorter for the 6 in the top right. Personal preference. Going for the long route. 6 in the side. Get away from that rail. Roll it in. I think straight in on the 8 would be fine for the 9 in the right side pocket. I think a stun shot here wouldn't get him there. I think the scratch for the top right would be too big, so he has to draw this and some right spin. Yeah. And once again, I think a touch of low right, just bump the rail and come a bit higher up table for a nice shot in the side pocket. To close out this set. Solid performance for Mr. Szewczyk. This for a 9-4 win. Hope you enjoyed this set. Final ball here, I believe. Yes, sir. (9-4) Wojtek Szewczyk. Check out these other matches, and I'll see you in the next one.